So what's the difference between trying to do God's will for him and doing God's will with him? I think we see a perfect example of that with Sarah and Abraham. So remember in the book of Genesis, God gave Abraham, who was already very old, a promise that he was going to have a son. But that promise didn't come to fulfillment right away. In fact, it actually took 25 years. Abraham was getting really old. I think he was around 90, 95. And he was getting impatient. He felt like, you know what, God, I've actually waited for you to do this thing. I've waited for you to give me a son for so long. I'm just going to do it my own, right? I'm going to do it on my own. So Abraham's wife, Sarah, she said, hey, go sleep with my slave, Hagar, and she can produce you the son that God has promised. So Abraham didn't hesitate. He's okay. He jumped into Hagar's tent. They got busy, and they produced a son of the flesh, a son of sin, you could say, and his name was Ishmael. Now, a few years later, God finally fulfilled his promise. Sarah became pregnant by Abraham, and they bore a son named Isaac. Now, when Abraham slept with Hagar, Abraham was trying to do God's will by himself, without God, and he produced a son of flesh, and that son of flesh has been persecuting the Jewish people from that time until now. It's still happening. There's a huge war happening about it right now. But that son of the flesh is still persecuting the son of the promise, which is the Israelites. What does it mean for Abraham to work with God to fulfill the promise? Remember, Sarah was not impregnated through immaculate conception. She still had to get impregnated by Abraham, which means he still had a role and a part to play in the fulfillment of God's promise. So he was a co-laborer with God and produced Isaac, but it was in God's timing. It was God's perfect plan, because God does not operate on our timeline. In fact, he doesn't operate on any timeline. He is outside of time. So if you received a promise from God, don't try to be God. Don't try to fulfill it on your own. Fulfill it with the Holy Spirit. Co-labor with him and be patient, because our God operates outside of time.